So Chingari, a TikTok rival from India, has raised $19 million in funding from top crypto firms. The funds are supposed to be used to further development, and the platform is launching a social token on the Solana blockchain. So here we see again Solana really solidifying themselves as the blockchain for creators. I didn't even know that TikTok had a rival in India that was as big as they are. I think they have 78 million. Yeah, they've had 78 million downloads and 30 million monthly active users. So a big competitor. Naomi, I'm going to toss this down to you. What did you take away from the story? Chingari's raising a whole ton of money for a social token. Do you think they can dethrone TikTok, or do you think TikTok's maybe just going to copy them?
Well, TikTok can't copy them in India. So as far as the regulations around TikTok are concerned, TikTok can't operate there, and that is a giant market. So it makes sense that a competitor sprung up there to operate in that area and offer this service to these people. I think that this is awesome. And when I see stories like this with all of the investors that we've seen investing into this and what they're planning to do with this. So they're talking about like allowing users to have e-commerce platforms and create NFTs and, monetize the content that they're putting out there. They're really integrating this stuff at the ground level. First of all, that's huge news for a competitor as large as this one to TikTok, which is like, one of the largest apps in the world, so popular right now. It just seems that if we're embedding crypto at the ground level in this, that's incredibly exciting. To really embed this is huge for the crypto space. But also just talking about how that changes the dynamics on these platforms in terms of monetization is super interesting because we don't have anything like it to compare it to on TikTok. There isn't a monetization option where you can like support your content creators. So a lot of these people are looking to like outside sponsorships and saying, well, I get millions of views, please sponsor my product. They're kind of doing this externally. And then Chingari is saying, well, actually, we're going to incorporate that all in the app to make it easier for content creators. I think it's super interesting, and I love seeing stuff like this. It makes me also this is going to be a little controversial, so stick with me. When you have all these Bitcoin maxis who are so filled with hatred against other products. And then you see things like this, which are really changing the dynamics for people in India who want to be content creators and allowing them an opportunity to monetize their stuff. And this stuff couldn't be done with Bitcoin. It's just, fundamentally different. Like Solana works in a very different way to the Bitcoin blockchain. So the fact that this is being enabled there, I wonder if these people still look at this stuff and say, oh, it's vaporware. Like, I just don't see it. I just don't see how such innovation and a changing of the dynamics of a giant platform that's popularized by tens of millions of people is vaporware at all. It's very exciting from my vantage point. But I'll throw it to you, David, for your take.
Well, did we see? Did they talk about exactly what the role of the token will be? Is it just a payments thing? Does anybody know?
I'm not sure, but the idea would be like NFTs would all be available. It would be on the Solana blockchain, but I presume it would be a payment vehicle.
I'm a little bit more lukewarm than you, Naomi, on the general idea of utility tokens.
Always lukewarm on the fun stuff, David.
I mean, like the question for me is, and point taken about Bitcoin, but there are still ways to use it if you're just trying to do payments. So, I mean, I wonder why you have to wed a service to a single blockchain if you're just using it for payments and tipping and stuff like that. And I think that in general, in sort of bigger picture, this is great for Solana. At the same time, Solana does still have a long way to go in terms of decentralization and stability, obviously. And so I do wonder about, the wisdom of tying something like this so firmly, because you do have investment in this round from Alameda Research, Sam Bankman-Fried's. Is that a fund? I don't know, but it's SBF, and it's he's very big on Solana. So you're really melding things together that I am not totally convinced are fundamentally necessary to meld together. I mean, if you have a TikTok clone, you can put some interesting crypto payments in there without it being specific to Solana. So, I mean, great tactical move for Solana to get something like this on there. I'm, a little bit on the idea itself.
I think the token is more. I'm going to pass it right to you, Zach. Okay, I was going to say, I think the token could also be more about creating a community, but I'm going to toss it off to you. Maybe you can take that and run with it.
I'm putting this one as MulletFi. This one is fintech, not even fintech, social media on the front, DeFi in the back, mullet-fi. I'm calling this as a mullet-fi trend. This is going to be really interesting. This is a popular, widely used front end that is going to have some crypto stuff in the back end. And I think we're going to see a lot of that in the coming year. Whether it's with another Solana one, maps.me, they're bringing a crypto wallet into the mapping app. The ability of some of these higher throughput proof of stake chains to live within existing apps is going to get really interesting as people get more comfortable with the ideas around putting some financial applications into their existing service that may or may not have anything to do with finance previously. So that to me is really interesting. And the idea that like social tokens are all
no argument there.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's like a conceptual on-ramp to social tokens, maybe, right? Social tokens are this weird thing that it's like kind of hard to grasp. Like it's in crypto land, it's still pretty niche. But for these things to move into the realm of like widely popular apps could be really catalytic for like how people think about social tokens and how people think about approaching those, issuing their own, doing cool things with them, whether it's for payments or whether it's for other sort of yield generating schemes that you can plug into DeFi and do cool things with. So I'm hype on it, but I'll toss it down to Naomi for a last thought.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Zach, you've got people in the comment section, Synapse Novosa, who asked if he uses MulletFi as a DeFi platform name, does he have to pay you a royalty? So don't answer now, think about it, but that's something to hang out maybe on Monday.
We're going to have to make an NFT
Zach,
of the name so that the royalties get transferred.
Idea belongs to all of us.
I stole it from a source. I stole it from a source at Coinbase.
Right here.
Yeah, anyway. Sorry, everybody.